Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live Friday edition. Happy Friday, everybody. Yes, the long awaited, or was it? I don't know. The long awaited Mercury retrograded, at least since 3 months ago. It does this every 3 months. So, no surprise there that Mercury is almost retrograde. We are definitely feeling it, though. Let's just put that out there. At least I am. Not in a bad way that though yet, so that's good. Um, yeah, check on in everybody. Yeah, now it says I'm only live for 7 seconds, so hopefully you heard my little intro there. If not, I apologize, but hello, hello. Don't want to repeat myself just in case it did catch. I don't know why it does that. It tells me I'm live, and then I start talking and doing the thing, and then I see this like line go across the bottom, like this red line go across the bottom of my live stream, and then it starts the count like we're live now. So I don't know. Did you hear my intro? If you're here, let me know. Yes, no, maybe. How is everybody? All right. Linda has an appointment, but she'll join later or watch the replay. Awesome, awesome. We have 4 people here, so hopefully you can say hi. Let us know that you're here. We're going to be doing our kind of dive into the astrology of August, and Mercury retrograde is kind of the, I don't know, the hero of the day. Probably not hero. That's probably not the right word. There's a lot going on. But what I like to say with any astrology is this is letting us know the sneakiness of what the matrix has planned. It does not mean that this is actually going to happen. I have argued on this channel that do we have free will? Do we not have free will? I'm still like on the fence. Do we even have free will here? But just kind of leaning into the fact that if we do have more control over our lives than just whatever the stars are telling us in the matrix, and just tuning into our actual spirit that exists outside this matrix, but also we are within it rather than the spirit being within us. I feel like our human body is within our spirit, or the energy of it. Just my own personal take on that. But yes, this is us connecting to that energy that we are, that is source, that is outside this matrix. But since we are in the matrix, it's like we can get that like line directly to source, to help us overcome anything that may be planned or scheduled according to the astrology. Because I don't look at astrology as this very, I used to look at astrology as this very helpful tool to help us navigate the world. But then like there was this questioning part of me that's like, if we have free will, why is the astrology almost always right? Not always, because there's room for, certain planets being in certain places can mean completely opposite things at times. But for the most part, it almost always tends or trends toward the negative for whatever reason. But I just decided, it just doesn't gel with me that my whole life is controlled by this matrix. And I realized that's what astrology is. It's letting us know what this matrix has planned and what's going on. And if we can use that information as, knowing the potentials that they're trying to, and by they, the controllers of this matrix system have put in place for us, we can tune into our spirit and overcome or go a completely opposite direction. I have faith that we can do that. So what I have to say here today, you do not have to subscribe to it as your gospel or awesome, that's, whatever. It may or may not happen. That's the thing about all of this. And usually astrology works best when you look in hindsight at those really big, happy or sad moments of your life. You can usually point to why it happened that day, that time, what all the circumstances were. That's usually the case. Oh, John's here. Hello. Oh, you're not having a great time. Oh, no. Andromeda, hi. Brandy Lynn, Damini. I just read those backwards. So for those of you that are like, wow, her back end of YouTube Studio really is backwards today. No, I actually did read them from the bottom up. So yes. Oh, I'm getting a text. What's going on here? Oh. So yeah, I need to cancel that mushroom coffee subscription anyway. I'm just trying to go more like hot water in the morning rather than coffee. So, and I haven't had like coffee at home since 2017, I think. But I do like a mushroom coffee in the morning. It's just kind of the like comfy, cozy habit of having something in the morning. But now that I'm intermittent fasting, having that would break my fast anyway. So if I am having any of my mushroom coffee, it's usually well into the day, usually around 1 p.m. or maybe even later, or just not at all because it doesn't fit into the lifestyle I'm building right now. Oh, Hubs injured his back again and is off a few weeks. So it's really putting the retrograde in Mercury retro, right? Yeah. Yeah. It'd be interesting to know. I cannot remember which house governs the back, and especially different sections of the back are governed by different houses. Uh, but a lot of times when I have this going on or that going on, I can point it to the fact the astrology is definitely having a hand in why I feel a certain type of way. Like I pulled my and it's weird because I'm fasting, it healed so quickly. Like I was shocked. I pulled my groin on say Wednesday night. Wednesday night? Yeah. Yeah, because we're at Friday. Yeah, so it was 2 days ago. Kind of like pulled my, not like a full on tear or anything, but kind of just pulled it to where, trying to step over the piles of junk that my kids have accumulated on their bedroom floor, trying to get to their dresser in their closet, and couldn't hurt myself, but it's like fully back to normal now, thank goodness. But yeah, I looked up, I'm like, why did this happen? And I could point out, yep. Well, that's hopefully his back is feeling better soon. But yeah, I made myself some notes, like some kind of two-sided notes here. So we're going to get into, so I don't want to miss any of my little points, but just Mercury being, and we're of course doing Vedic / Babylonian / sidereal / Hellenistic / your tires astrology. So this is where when you look up with your eyeballs in the sky and actually see these planets, of course, Mercury is very hard to see at any given time because it travels so close to the sun. I'm pretty sure they have ways to see it, but with our naked eye, good luck. You're not going to see it most likely. Venus is very easy to see when it's not close to the sun, which it is close to the sun right now, so it might be difficult. Jupiter is usually easy to see, again, unless it's close to the sun. Saturn's easy to see unless it's close to the sun, all the things. But when you look up in, the moon is an easy one because it's big enough, it's bright enough, but it doesn't completely blot out everything around it to where you can see it's definitely, when it's in the sign of Taurus, it kind of forms this V shape in the sky. You can clearly see that the moon is in Taurus, but Western astrology is telling you it's actually in Gemini, when in fact your eyeballs are like, no, it's right there in Taurus. So I'm taking the actual placements. There's still merit in Western astrology because it's like an aggregor energy of so many people putting their, paying attention, creating those timelines, creating those. And that's why, in my opinion, Western astrology works so well for so many people and is very, very accurate, just as so is sidereal astrology. So, either way you shake it, you're going to get pretty accurate depictions of what's happening here because, yes. So we're using the Vedic placement, sidereal placement of Mercury retrograde and everything else going on in this month of August. Yes, we are 2 days into August. I've not seen you though since the end of July. So hello, happy August. But yes, Mercury will be retrograde in the sign of Vedic Leo and then traveling back into Cancer. So while it's retrograde, which will be depending where you are in the world, it's either August 4th or August 5th, depending when it goes retrograde, through the 28th are the dates that I found, which is about 3 weeks worth of time that Mercury is retrograde. And it is actually in Leo with Venus currently. And, Mercury and Venus are really beautiful, both great energies, great, especially together. It can be a very creative, very beautiful, very flowery, sensual, and very communicative combination. So you might even be, at times, dipping into this really beautiful, lovely energy of these two signs, or planets, which rule the signs of, Mercury is ruling over your Gemini and your Virgo. And then, of course, Venus is ruling over Taurus and Libra. So if you have any sun, moon, rising, or prominent placements, stelliums, or anything like that, stellium just means like 3 or more planets within a place. Usually you can have a heavy weight in that, nakshatra specifically, which are the 27 constellations behind the zodiac, but, just as far as astrology goes. But so Mercury is hanging out in Leo, and it will travel Gandanta, or past that Gandanta point, that karmic knot between your water sign and your fire sign, which, it happens. These planets will transit Gandanta points at 3 different points, forming that trine in your chart. And Mercury is a very quick moving energy, and it moves pretty close to the sun. It takes about 13 months to go around the complete wheel. So about 3 times a year, you will have Mercury go Gandanta between Cancer and Leo, which is a karmic knot, karmic point. It can also be represented as like a feeling of drowning, like just everything's overwhelming. Another point is between Scorpio and Sagittarius, from, again, water to fire, and again, from Pisces into Aries as well. So when you have a planet travel over it and then go retrograde back over it, it amplifies that energy, because then Mercury, once it's not retrograde anymore, will then for a third time go back over it within a very short amount of time, within about a month or so. So yeah, it's pretty telling. And what are my other notes here? Yeah, and also during this whole thing, to get us started, at least I kind of took a screenshot of what the astrology looks like the day that it goes retrograde. The sun is still in Vedic Cancer, and then the south node is just ahead of Leo in Virgo. So you have Mercury, and here's where that lovely energy starts to kind of get unraveled or dissipate, because it's hemmed between 2 malefic planets. And yes, the sun is considered a malefic planet. It burns whatever house it's in, or the other planets that are aspecting or getting aspected by the sun, or that are combust or very close by. And of course, when the planet is combust, that means it is completely burned by the sun, and you might have some negative effects by that. So having this Mercury retrograde, going retrograde, hemmed between 2 malefic planets, being aspected by yet another malefic planet, Saturn, exactly opposite, in the house opposite, and Mars, by the 4th aspect that we use in Vedic astrology. Mars is also setting its sights, and of course Uranus is with Mars, so there's that energy of Uranus and Mars banging it up together, and just all the craziness that caused in July is kind of carrying over, but in like with a new flavor into August. And some things you might be feeling, especially in your house of Leo, again, Vedic Leo. So if you know your exact degrees per Western or tropical astrology, you can subtract about 23 degrees. So if you have a planet under about 7 degrees of a sign, or an ascendant within that, within about 7 degrees, first 7 degrees of a sign in Western, you will be pretty much guaranteed that you're going to be that same sign in Vedic astrology. But not always guaranteed. Just you have to really watch it around that 7-degree mark. Also, you're going to be feeling frustrated. So wherever your house of Vedic Leo is, there's this sense of stagnation, spinning your wheels, things just not moving forward. And if you have, prominent placements, your sun, your moon, your rising, or a big stack up of all of those things going on in Leo, like some people I love are like heavy Leo energy, and they're having a time right now. Doesn't mean all doom and gloom and that you're completely, woe is me for the rest of, August. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Of course, us tuning into our spirit, trying to get to the bottom of these energies, being able to move through it quickly, hopefully, is key here. So you're not completely powerless. That's what I like to think anyway. So yes, Mercury is going to be crossing that Gandanta point, and I'm going to get into the dates and explain what that means here on the back. I wrote my dates down. There is going to be a karmic shift with Ketu as when Mercury does go retrograde. So the first part of Mercury being retrograde, it's going retrograde in Magha Nakshatra, which is in Leo, but Magha Nakshatra is ruled by Ketu, or the south node of the moon, which we know is that karmic energy or things from the past. So something that you thought was finished may just be coming up, and it may even be something that you have talked about till you were blue in the face, or something with your communication, something with travel, maybe having to go back, to somewhere. Like, great example, when Mercury was retrograde back during baseball season, I would have to, and usually Mercury is short distance travel, so it's not like you're having to travel all the way across the world multiple times because you forgot something or something like that. But forgetting a random basketball shirt, or, something that we need, a water bottle, or something we need for the sports event, and having to come home, sometimes not even once, but twice during the day, making extra trips. It's just a hassle. So nothing, like no skin off your back in the grand scheme of life, but it's just annoying in the moment. So there might be things like this going on in whatever house of Leo. So if your house of Leo is your home, there might be things, you have a leaky faucet, you fix the faucet, and 2 days later it's back leaking again. You're like, I did everything I thought I did. So you redo it again, and then maybe again, things like this. If it is in your seventh house, I'm just kind of giving a couple examples. There could be things going on with your business partners or your spouse or just other people in general. We're like, we talked about this. Like, why are you doing this again? Or why is happening? If it's your, let's see, maybe third house, could be communication with siblings or again, short distance travel, things on social media, all third house related items, stuff with courage because third house rules courage. Yeah, so that's just kind of a couple examples there with that. But something that you thought was finished comes back around. There's more to do, or maybe even having to stop, go all the way down to the brass tacks of something and build it back up. But you may not, again, if you're kind of starting something or you have the potential to maybe put something on the back burner if you can, I would say there's a lot of good insight you can gain during a Mercury retrograde. But if you're trying to instill or institute these changes or things you're trying to overcome during Mercury retrograde, you might find that once Mercury goes direct again, you'll have to redo it yet again. So just word to the wise. Writers out there, my writers out there, you might have some really good insight or inklings or ideas during Mercury retrograde and even try to kind of institute them in what you've maybe already written out. But then once Mercury retrograde is over, you're still realizing, yes, that was awesome, but maybe I need to kind of tweak how I put that in there, or maybe this event needs to come before this event, and then that'll make better sense. There's still something left to change after the Mercury retrograde is finished out. And of course, just with this Magha Nakshatra being ruled by Ketu and then Mercury running back into it, the signs that are going to be most affected during this will be Leo, Cancer, Libra, Taurus, Virgo, and Gemini. So this will be your sun-ruled sign, Leo. Cancer is ruled by the moon. Libra and Taurus ruled by Venus, and then of course Gemini and Virgo ruled by Mercury itself, which is always fun. So the dates to watch out for, let's see. Yes, so around August 19th, that's the full moon, and Mercury retrograde is going to be also combust with the sun. So it's going to be exactly opposite. Mercury retrograde and the sun will be exactly opposite the full moon. So there's a potential for something pretty powerful. I would like to say for the good to happen around that time, but there's also some caution because coming up a few days after that, which we'll get into in a moment, that Gandanta, Mercury going over that Gandanta point back into Cancer. Again, Vedic sidereal placements is what we're talking about. It's going to be a bit of a moment, but around the 19th, you may receive some information through your dreams, overhearing people talk, or even just plops right down into your awareness or your thought process that is going to be like an aha moment, an epiphany, a good idea, maybe an opportunity of some kind, but it more feels informational if that's the case. It's information being gifted or given to you around that time. It may not happen exactly on the 19th, but for most of you, especially those of you that are the Leo, Cancer, Libra, Taurus, Gemini, and Virgo, most likely it will happen on that day. So maybe just put a little note in your phone to pop up on that day, like, ooh, be ears perked for information, something, an epiphany, an idea, good news of some kind might be coming on that day as well. Also, so 2 days after that, August 21st through the 23rd, that is when Mercury's reaching that Gandanta point. And this is the time especially with Mercury being retrograde, it's not going over it in a, just regular direct motion. It's retrograding back. So it's going to flip just a normal karmic knot of Gandanta on its head completely. Especially with Mercury, it's going to be mostly about communication. So be super cautious of the things people are telling you, what you're hearing, what you're thinking, and even what you're seeing. You can't even believe what you're seeing at this time. And when I wrote that out, I got this like vision of me not believing what I'm seeing, but getting a vision of like a Project Bluebeam. If you don't know what that is, you can Google that for some, maybe use Yandex if you're going to look into that so you can actually get some information on it. Because if you Google it, you may not get what you're looking for. Yeah. So that might be like illusions or AI projecting a reality. And one, I guess, example we could use for that would be someone using the voice and likeness of a celebrity in a video to make people think that, oh, this celebrity just did this thing, but it was actually AI generated. It wasn't real. So just be very mindful. August 21st through the 23rd, maybe a day after, a day before, kind of give yourself a window that you're very calm, cool, collected, even keeled, not believing, seeing, and hearing, and trusting everything you think, see, hear, taste, touch, smell. Just be very mindful because you can get tricked, you can get scammed, you can get duped during this time. So be very careful. And people may even be lying to you. So just, again, your radar may not be top notch. So you're going to have to be double diligent on making sure that you're vetting out what people are telling you, that it is the actual truth. So then after the 23rd, we could take that big sigh of relief because Mercury would be now in Cancer. All those malefics that, being hemmed between the sun and the south node, or K2, that aspect from Mercury, no, it is Mercury. The aspect from Mars and Saturn have all lifted. So you can now have this heaviness, almost just this weight, buoyancy about your energy around the 23rd, 24th, because Mercury will be in Cancer, no longer malefically afflicted. Things will calm down now because Mercury will be in its own nakshatra of Aslesha nakshatra, which is a nakshatra of hidden wisdom, kundalini energy. It is represented by a serpent, but it's also now going to be aspected by Rahu, or the North Node, the head of the serpent itself, which is about now, instead of worrying about all that karmic stuff that we were worried about, it being hemmed between K2 and the sun, now we can be more forward and future focused and not, all of the stuff that we've gone through earlier in the month. We've now kind of cleared that karma, tied up those old knots or loosened those old knots, and now we're free and clear. Not to say that at a later time, these knots being passed, or there's more karma to unload, because usually these things happen in layers, but at least for the time being, the weight will be lifted. You'll be ready to be more future focused and ready to go towards your destiny in ways that are much bigger than earlier in the month, for sure. So yes, but it will be Mercury will go out of retrograde on August, I almost said October, August 28th, so about 5 days before it goes direct again, or stations. We're going to feel that weight lifted. So we have about 2.5 weeks or so of just grin and bear it, hold on for your life, try to go back and reassess, reevaluate, all the words, reevaluate, renew, regenerate, rejuvenate. Lots of self-care would be very ample for you, or do it. Do all the self-care. Maybe don't bite off as much work. Don't sign up for as many commitments. Don't accept as many invitations. Unless it's a hell yes, it's a hell no, okay? Because you don't need to borrow any unneeded strife this month. There's enough going on already. So that's the actual just kind of mundane astrology part of this. But I do want to get into how it's going to affect our little collective here. Oh, your Cato and Pluto will do something on the 23rd. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's a definite return to the past to maybe destroy something from the past to rebuild it better for the future. Yeah, basically the rest of the summer break, which makes sense. Yeah. And it's funny because I can't remember which card it was in my bullet journal that I pulled for my writing for the month of August. And I'm like, well, I guess things are just going off the rails. Now I know why. My writing pretty much did go off the rails because of summer and even baseball, but mostly because of summer. I'm just too busy with doing a no-screen summer. I did not realize how much of an activities director I would have to be. There was not a lot of downtime because the kids want just constant attention or ideas or, which is fine. They deserve it. I'm their mom. They're my kids. They deserve it. But I'm just not used to it because usually they're gone all day for school. So it was like a whiplash at first. Now I'm totally used to it. And it's going to be a whiplash them going back to school. That's just how it is every summer, trying to get used to going into summer and coming out of summer. And I'm usually not that mom that's don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like, I'm kind of sad because all of that good quality time we got to spend together is now just gone. So that's where I guess being more mindful of just being able to spend time as a family in the evenings rather than just be tossed around everywhere. Although Wrigley is now going to be in soccer and football, like flag football, so it's not like tackle football. At the same time, he's never done football before at all, and he only wants to do, this is the last year he can do flag football, because he doesn't want to do tackle football and hurt his head and his brain. So that was his words, not mine. So he must have heard that somewhere. He's like, this is my last year to do tackle football, and he wants to do it with his friends. So not tackle, flag football. So him and his friend are doing that, and they're also on the same team. That'll be fun. And Boston is in basketball. I can't remember if that's fall or winter. I can't remember. But it's not right away when school starts. There's usually a little bit of time before basketball starts, I think. So hopefully our evenings won't be completely booked solid and finished, because I would like to have some time to just be home and hang out and all the things. All right, so how is Mercury retrograde in Leo and going into Cancer and just everything going on in the astrology in August, almost said October again, August, going to affect our little collective here? Those of us watching now and on the replay, what can we expect from what we've already uncovered or anything else? Oh, well, look, yes. So definitely we're going to be feeling it, most likely. But again, remember, call on your true spirit, connect to your spirit, really lean into your spiritual house, your system, your house, your spirit. Lean into that. Really up your self-care game, your spirituality game. But also, Leo is just that excited, joyful, ready to go out and have some fun, be creative kind of energy. So if that feels like something you want to do, just know it may not go all according to plan, but you can still have an okay, if not better, time out of it. But just expect, have the bar pretty much on the ground. Your expectations, set them very low. Your intentions, of course, your intentions are something different. That's something you're intending to do. But your expectations of the world and other people and how they're going to treat you, just keep that bar real low, and then you won't be disappointed, at least for this next month or so, 3 to 4 weeks or so. But let's see specifically what we need to know. Those of us watching now on the replay for this astrology this month. 8th house. So there is some transformation, and we're probably not going to get all the answers of exactly what's coming in because there's an air of mystery around the 8th house as well. Just hidden information. But I actually really love this for those of you that are going to really lean into your very spiritual side this month, because there's a lot of information, wisdom, and transformation at hand for you because you've decided to tread lightly on certain, overextending yourself and, allowing people to come into your boundaries. No, you're setting very clear boundaries. And as a result, there is transformation and like hidden knowledge, maybe about the universe, about yourself coming in for you because you are more cautious during this time. All right, what else? 8th house is where your moon is. That's awesome. All right. We have also 4th house of home and family. So yes, things may be a bit up and down around the home and family. Maybe you had everything all decluttered and ready to go, and then all of a sudden things are all, crazy again. Or, your relationships with the people in your home may be a little on edge. I call my house the Lion's Den because I live with 3 Leos. My boys are both Leo ascendants. My husband's a Leo moon. And I already know that they're maybe going to be feeling a certain type of way. And me being Mercury ruled, Virgo ascendant, and Gemini moon, I may be feeling a certain type of way. So we're going to tread lightly. And I've already alerted everyone in the house that, hey, you may be feeling a little emotional. Don't have to take it out on others. You could talk through your problems and your feelings with us, but don't take it out on us. And that goes for what I saw in my mind's eye just now was like the picture of like 3 Spider-Mans all pointing at each other. Like that's how we're all going to be like, I don't even remember what that's from, but yeah. So tread lightly. If you have these people in your life that are of Leo, Cancer, Libra, Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, and of course all the other signs are going to be feeling it as well, maybe just in varied degrees. But yeah, you'll definitely know the people who are Leo ruled or Mercury ruled or Cancer or Libra or Taurus this month because it's maybe just going to be written all over them that they're feeling a certain type of way. But for our collective, what do we need to know? 10 of Pentacles. And it's interesting that I'm using this deck specifically because normally the 10 of Pentacles is like 10 out of 10, amazing, great energy, financial flow, stability, security, income, all the things. But she doesn't look very happy about it. So things may on paper or, in the material world be looking pretty okay, but just emotionally, you're just kind of like, about it. And that's where I think some of this, especially once Mercury goes into the sign of Cancer, which it doesn't really like to be in the sign of Cancer, let's be honest. It doesn't really like being in the water signs for the most part. But that's when I think you're going to be able to tap back into your emotions. So it might be emotionally difficult, not so much that you're feeling emotions the first part of this Mercury retrograde, but just the fact that you don't know how it's making you feel. You're feeling a certain type of way, but you maybe don't know why or how to overcome it or how to move through it. It's just kind of there. But once Mercury goes into Cancer around, when is that? Around the 21st through the 23rd of the month, you're going to be able to tune into those emotions and let them flow, let them go. Like, that's what I'm feeling with that. But on paper, everything in your material world looks like it's going pretty okay, if not better than okay. So your material woes and security, stability, income, all those things seem to be going pretty well. It's just the more emotional stuff. All right. So what else? For our little collective, 8 of Swords, stop overthinking and just do it. And she's like totally frustrated at her laptop there. So maybe just being double, triple, quadruple careful if you're saving certain documents or sending emails, making sure that they are in your sent folder, that they got where they were going. Because, Mercury retrograde, as we know, is about miscommunication. Maybe even at times feeling like we need to over communicate because people just aren't getting it. And you're like, you already told me that. And I'm like, well, I'm making sure because it's Mercury retrograde. I want to cover all my bases. But this is also about getting in your head too much. I like to call this one the lower octave of the devil energy of just that ego trying to run the show or tell you you're not worthy, tell you you're not good enough, which we know is not true. But just also making sure, I'm seeing the cups here. I know this is a swords card, but there are 2 cups. It's like her adrenals are completely taxed because she's just been like caffeine overload with all the coffee or something. So if you are someone who drinks coffee, just make sure you're not taxing your adrenals by consuming too many, caffeinated beverages. And also making sure you're getting plenty of water. With all that Leo energy going on, with with Venus being there, Mercury being there, the Moon being there to start out this Mercury retrograde, and then it being hemmed in with those 2 malefics. Leo's that very fiery energy, so a lot of that fire is going on. So making sure that you are drinking plenty of water to balance out a lot of that fire that's going on, like the Ayurveda of it all. All right, what else do we need to know? Those of us watching now and on the replay. And I don't think we have any donations today, so we might just be going right into our giveaway and our drawing after this. So we have Sorrow. And this, to me, like, her path seems very clear and one-directional moving forward. So this, again, going with that K2 energy and Mercury going retrograde in K2's nakshatra of Magha nakshatra. Magha is like the ancestral wound or the ancestral energy. So it is about past energies, past wounds, ancestral curses, traumas coming to the surface. And maybe that's some of this emotional turmoil at the beginning part of this month is just past, ancestral stuff that's just kind of running through your DNA that you have nothing really to do with, but that needs to be processed. And things from your past where you did maybe choose a different path than, and you kind of wonder what if of the woulda, shoulda, couldas of this other path. Maybe that's coming up for you to be able to transmute that, again, with that transmutation. And the 8th house, that's the deepest. That's where you're really digging deep. I would also argue the 12th house is a very deep house, but that's like completely outside the physical realm for real. 8th house, this is very deep into the physical realm. And I would even say so deep with the 8th house, and this is not something I've heard, just tuning in right now, that you're getting to the original blueprint of the planet outside the matrix. So 8th house, you can get out of the matrix by digging deep into the actual, original blueprint of this planet. And then also 12th house is considered outside the matrix as well. So yeah, there's some deep digging that you're getting with this, especially when you pair it up with this 10 of Pentacles. There could even be someone getting some sort of inheritance, because the 10 of Pentacles deals with inheritance. 8th house deals with inheritance. And it could even be someone inheriting a home or a legacy, something with from a family member who's maybe passed. It could even have been in the past, where maybe even this person passed long ago, but something that once was theirs was in the hands of a sibling or another relative, and it's now somehow finding its way to you. Maybe someone's looking to get rid of it, and they're like, hey, do you want this thing from grandma so-and-so? And you're like, oh my gosh, I would love that. Something like that. It could be something simple like that. I don't see that anyone's passing away in your life at all. Like, that energy is just not here. So if this is someone who has passed, they have already passed as of right now when you're watching this. They've already passed. This could even be an inheritance of your birthright of, I'm seeing like high priestess energy, that all that wisdom of your ancestors running through your veins. Especially with this combination. Wow. Because your 4th house really is tying you to your roots. It is your roots. And then digging really deep into the roots is the 8th house. So there's some really powerful information you can be learning about your roots, your ancestry. Maybe even not just in this life, but past life, lives on other planets. Like, dig as deep as you want. You can really get some information for yourself coming up this month for sure. All right, anything else we need to know before we close out? We're getting one more of these and then one of the other one here. Retreat. Okay, so there's that word, relax, renew, rejuvenate, redo, retreat. So this is definitely saying the name of the game is self-care, not signing up. I know Leo is that extrovert, but when things are going kind of reverse and cattywampus and retrograde in Leo, it's time to kind of pull back on that extroversion and maybe go a little introverted, and that can help balance out this just very crazy energy of this Mercury retrograde and all the malefic influence of the aspects and being hemmed between those malefics that Leo's going to be facing. So your introspection, your spiritual connection, these are going to be key for you. And if you can go on a retreat or a camping trip or a vacation of some kind, do it. It would be very beneficial and therapeutic. Just remember, we're in Mercury retrograde. Your travel plans may be delayed or whatever, but once you get where you're going, things are going to feel pretty okay. You will be able to enjoy yourself and relax and all that. Persistence is on the back. So, even if at first you don't succeed, try again. Like, that's what I'm seeing with that. Let's get one more from this deck before we close out. Anything else? Yeah. Here we go. Oh, and I was shuffling upside down. So we have hibernation and regeneration. I mean, can we get any more clear? But because it came out in reverse, because I've shuffled in reverse, it may be difficult for you to do this because maybe the workload is piled up, or you have, kids or family that are like pulling on you from all directions. Hey, I need you for this. Hey, I need you for that. Mom life, wife life. But that doesn't mean that you have to let this go completely off the rails, because there's so many other cards here in the deck that are saying, hey, if you take care of yourself, your spirit will take care of you. And that's what you're going to be able to do. But again, it may not always be easy to dip into that hibernation and regeneration, restoration. Maybe you're even having sleepless nights, depending where Leo is in your chart, or where some of these malefics are possibly transiting in your chart, can affect your sleep. Mars being in my 8th house and Saturn being in my 12th house, I just have a hard time staying fully asleep at night just because of my astrology and my chart as it is. But certain transits lighten that load, others make it worse. So just kind of look into your own chart and just see what's going on to get a better understanding. And of course, if you're like, I'm not signed up for any of this crap, you don't have to. And tune into your spirit, tune into your soul, get to the root of whatever is going on, and maybe even try to kind of bypass, not in a spiritually bypassy kind of way, but like bypass the matrix, so to speak, to just get to what your spirit wants for you, rather than what the matrix has in store for you because of your astrology. All right, so that's going to be it for our collective and our little spiel about, well, it wasn't too little, I guess almost 40 minutes worth of the astrology for the month of August coming up. All right, so let's get into our giveaway. Just double check. I don't think we have. No, we do not have any donations today. So let's use the Lovely Ladies Tarot. All right, let me shuffle a few times. Go ahead. If you're new to the giveaway, all you have to do is guess or determine or figure out which card out of this tarot deck I'm pulling out of the deck. And the first person to get it right, meaning what card I pulled out, will win the reading. And if we're going and going and going and no one gets it, oh my gosh, we just got this one recently. So if you've been here recently, you know, you may, if you remember, you may know what this is. I will give you another hint. If you were on our last live stream, it was the same card. And the Nana S was the winner of this giveaway. So that I really narrowed it down. For those of you that were here on Wednesday night, this was the same card we pulled. So I love this. I love this though. This is so amazing. So cool. I normally from live stream to live stream forget, but this one stood out to me because it just seemed like such an outlier in the energy that's going on. So, hey, maybe you are kind of the glitch in the matrix, whoever wins this, if you can remember. There it is, Brandy Lynn, ding, 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 ding. It was from a different deck, but hey, same vibe going on. Ace of Pentacles, go ahead and post a question, and we'll get right into that for you. And let's see. Hey, Amanda F. I want to say you won one of our drawings a while back. If I did not already tell you that, it's been a minute. If I did not already tell you that, maybe go back and look. I think it was at least 3 weeks ago. So I can't remember if I told you or not. I know I timestamped it though. So if that's the case, if you have no idea that you won a while back. Just don't remember when. It's been a minute. So put a 333 in the chat if you would like to be entered into the drawing. Yeah, I've been out of pocket. Yeah, it happens. I've been feeling that way, like energetically, just doing this intermittent fasting. I feel like I'm just stepping out of the matrix. It's so cool. I love it. I was kind of hungry this morning, but like right now I'm good. And I've not eaten since yesterday evening. Well, early evening. So I'm sticking into it, doing it. Amber, let's get you on. And who else? We have Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Welcome, welcome. And we also have Amanda F. That's one paper. There we go. And Andromeda. Hello, hello. And Brandy Lynn. And of course, Brandy Lynn, go ahead and post your question as well. All right. I was almost like, I've been kind of tired this morning. Not hungry so much. I'm a little hungry, but then I wasn't. I've been more tired. And we've just been getting like all these M-class flares and solar flares and just so much going on with that kind of energy that I'm tired. My husband's tired. My kids are tired. Like, we're all tired. Anyone else just tired? Even if you get all the sleep at night, like, I'm still tired. I don't know what to do. I mean, I do know what it is. Energetically speaking, I have a pretty good idea. So we have, before I drop it in, I should have showed you first. Brandy Lynn going in. We've got Amanda F. We've got, and I keep saying this, but I really do. I mean, this is like right here. Like we gotta do something about this situation. Amber going on in to the drawing bag, not the drawing board. Michelle and Andromeda going in. And Brandy Lynn says, leave it open to spirit. Oh, let's get John in there before we draw. Let's get John in there. I hope things get better for you today, John. Maybe John can win the drawing, and that would make things a little better. John. All right. Here we go. Ready? And, oh, I feel it. The winner is somebody. Kashvi! Oh, yay! How cool. Kashvi won the one card drawing pull today. So let's zip this up because, I mean, I don't know that you can see that this is like so close to the top. I got to do something about that. All right, we zip that up to keep them all contained. So let's get a reading in from Spirit for Brandy Lynn, and then of course Kashfi's reading as well. And of course she's probably at school still, so I will timestamp that so you can watch that with her later today, Amber. All right, so we're starting off with the card you used to, win your drawing or your reading, not your drawing. Yeah, lottery poppers. I know, right? That'd be so fun. I used to be like mesmerized by those as a kid. And I'd try to sit there and guess the numbers. And so many times I would at least have one or two numbers as a kid. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got it. Not that we watched it consistently because we didn't really play the lottery, but it was just on sometimes when you turn on the TV. So cool. So here we go. Opportunity coming in. And it almost looks like one of those little lottery balls right there, holding something in your palm of your hand. So what is this opportunity coming in? Let's tune in first and foremost there. New beginning, new start. Of course, Mercury retrograde being what it is. Maybe this is the idea coming through, but I don't know. There could be something that wants to at least be planted, even if it takes a few weeks to break the surface, metaphorically speaking. All right. Well, it's a very material world, so this may not even be an idea. This is just something kind of presented or offered to you that you may not even have on your radar. But it's here, the Queen of Pentacles. 2 Pentacle cards, and 2 different decks. So there is no need to sacrifice. You can have it all. The Witch is in. And this is almost to me feeling like over the next few weeks, Leo rising, right? Over the next few weeks, yes, there's this kind of transition with school, starting back up and getting all the things ready, which can be kind of in and of itself kind of nerve-wracking and anxiety-inducing, just making sure we have all the school supplies, all the clothing we need, all the, backpacks and lunch boxes, and just getting into a new rhythm, a new routine is not always the easiest thing, as we were kind of talking about. Easing into summer, easing out of summer. Sometimes those transitions can be a little hard stopping. But I really do feel somehow, some way, you're rocking this transition from summer into school and ready. This does feel very much like getting back to business, getting back to work. Even if you've been working pretty decently through, which I want to say, I know you've been writing at least a little here and there, but you're going to be ready to just step it up and be really on point. And this to me does feel like by the time school starts, you're ready. You're ready to rumble. You're ready to rock. You're ready to get things going. Back with writing and just life in general, just all the things that you can't do day to day because the kids are there. And then 7 of Pentacles. Look at that. Another Pentacle. So this is very much like real world stuff going on. And this is a lot of times just having a bit of patience, but it does feel like there's patience, but yet also like 8 of Wands energy at the same time. But it doesn't feel to me like 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake. It feels like an easing into it at a rate of speed that feels good to you. You may not be fully back at capacity like day 1 of summer being over or school being in session, but you're ready. You're ready to ease in, and you may even have some ideas and excitement about it that are bringing you to this point of, let's just do it. Let's get in there. Let's go. Yeah, she's so ready for fall. Oh, they're starting, middle school and high school next year. Oh my goodness. Talk about some transitionary times. That's, just going back to school in general is sometimes difficult, but going to a whole new school is like, whoa, whole new world. All right, we have Pluto with shadow and mysticism. So Pluto's somehow playing a role, but, Pluto is like that kind of tower moment, but I'm seeing this as a good tower moment. Like you're ready for this this ending and new beginning kind of energy. And that's what a transition of between fall and summer and fall is for so many parents, is kind of a tower moment of, okay, this is what our days look like. Well, now our days look like this. But there might be a bit of like psychic insight you're getting kind of going into the next few weeks, into the next month. And then the 11th house of community and technology. So being able to maybe meet up with people or start something. Oh, and I'm getting that. Maybe you're able to, here in the next month or month and a half, be able to submit something to the writing group. yeah, this is what this feels like. Being excited, maybe it's a slow into it, but you're easing into it at a rate that feels comfortable, but you're slightly stretching that comfort zone to be able to get that going. Pluto conjunct Saturn in the second house, so it makes sense. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Yeah, but you're definitely able to utilize your online communities and the technology to connect with people online to make things start to move, you know, in this where this opportunity is starting to take root, and you're actually possibly from the writing group going to be able to start getting feedback that is going to be very beneficial. All right, closing statement for Brandy Lynn. What else does she need to know? Message from Spirit for Brandy Lynn. And we have here healing. I love it. Very bright, very vivid colors here. So there's some big healing coming in. It feels very Six of Swords, which is my internet card, but it's also a card of healing as well. So there might even be something therapeutic or healing about connections you have online through different communities that you're involved in online that just feel very therapeutic or healing or almost like calming. It's a very calming, but we also have spiritual guidance on the back. So there's definitely some spiritual guidance coming through maybe some of your networks online or people you know online or connect with online. Maybe you're even having some spiritual insight to share with friends that you have online or community members online. All right, so that seems pretty cool. Yeah, any big transitions coming up, tower moments coming up, you're just going to be able to ease right into them. Try with your stellium in the 11th house. Oh, cool. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so this does feel very relevant to what you have going on, but very exciting. Like there's this air of excitement under. Now I got the chills. Okay, so you're going to be very, very in your purpose, in your power, in your passion, pretty much through October. Like that's the energy just like burning through. Not in like a I just depleted myself kind of way, but like riding the flow of the tide. Like you're not having to exert any of your energy. It almost just feels flawless or effortless coming from your own spirit. Like your spirit is allowing you to burn the midnight oil, so to speak, to be able to get all the cool things done that you want to get done and meet certain deadlines that either you've made for yourself or you have, things with going on with the kids at school or with your writing or what have you. There's an air of excitement about it. So even if it feels kind of daunting a little bit, there's also this air of excitement. Like, no, I got this. This is fun. This is cool. I can do this. I can't wait. So yeah, very cool energy. I would love to tap into something like this for myself coming up. I maybe need to do kind of a check-in with myself, kind of reading maybe today or this weekend sometime, just to see where I'm at, take the finger on the pulse of what's to come for me here, especially being so Mercury ruled with this Mercury retrograde. I haven't even been doing my daily readings at all since probably late June at all. Like just don't even pick up my deck for myself at all, which is weird, but that's okay. I go through phases sometimes where I just don't do any readings for myself at all. And then other times where I'm doing like a 3-card spread in the morning, like for days on end. And then I just kind of just go back to 1 card, like just kind of feel pulled to either do this or not, All right. So I'm going to timestamp for Kashfi, 5252 for Kashfi. What a cool timestamp. And that adds up to 7/7. 5252. All right, for Kashfi. All right, we pulled your name out of the drawing bag today, Kashfi. Look at that. So we are going to pull some cards for you to see what Kashfi needs to know. And it sounds like you're already back in school. So let's see if there's any messages maybe about back to school or just life in general for Kashfi. And we have your strength, the strength card, tuning into that inner strength, feeling strong, feeling powerful, more on the inside than like muscle on the outside. But this does feel just very exciting. Like you're maybe more courageous. Maybe you're talking to kids that, before maybe you would have been too shy. And now you're like, no, I'll go talk to that girl, or say she has a cool backpack or whatever. That's a really great way to kind of start a conversation, is to give someone a compliment. Compliment them on their cool hairstyle, or I love your sweatshirt, or, whatever it is. Make sure it's genuine though. Make sure you actually agree with the compliment. That's always key. We also have the 2 of Pentacles. So there may be a bit of indecision or kind of unsure, like, do I spend my time doing this or should I spend my time doing that? And that's something my kids kind of struggle with once they go back to school. then they get home and they have free time to be able to do whatever. So they're like, should I read or should I go play basketball? My kids are currently not getting to use their screens so much, but maybe once school starts, we'll institute just like a half hour. Like that's my maximum for my kids at this point, because they are still pretty young, 13 and 9. But it's about trying to decide, well, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? So, and trying to find ways to spend your time in that will make you feel happy. All right. That doesn't mean you can't say, well, I don't want to do my homework because it doesn't make me happy. We still have responsibilities. We still have to do the things maybe we don't want to do. But it feels like you're in pretty good control or charge of what it is that you want to do and be able to do it. So if you do want to play with your toys when you get home, sounds like you'll be able to do that. Or if you want to, go hang out at a friend's birthday party or something, you might be able to. So there's a lot of power here in you being able to manifest or create the life that you want to be living. So very cool. All right, Kashvi, I hope that resonated for you. And I know Amber had said earlier she was driving, so most likely she'll get this message later. What should I have for lunch? Draws cards. Same. I don't know that I've quite done that, but I've done like, should I go to the store right now? I'm not feeling it, but I know I need to go. And then I'll like shuffle. I'm like, oh, strength card. Just buck up and do it. Yeah, I've been there. I've done that. I always feel like, oh gosh, what am I doing? And usually the cards tell me what I already knew I needed to know, but just sometimes that affirmation of, yeah, just do the thing you need to do. Quit dragging your feet and do it. But yeah, I need to be contemplating what should I have for lunch to break my fast today. I'm probably not going to eat till about 1:30 or 2, which is about an hour and a half from now to 2 hours from now. So I still have time to think, so it's okay. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to be it for me today. I will be back on Wednesday, and that's when we're going to be doing a free 1-card pull for everybody who's here on Wednesday's stream. It'll be 6 p.m. Mountain Time right here on this channel. Once my kids go back to school, I'm going to try to figure out the cluster that is the Done Creative and maybe just do a live pick a card where I will probably do just where I pull the card for each pile before the live stream so I can take a screenshot or a picture of that to create the thumbnail so you can already just look at the thumbnail and know, ooh, I'm drawing a pile 1 or pile 2 or whatever. That's my at least kind of plan. And I might even do a few of the intuition tests kind of thrown in there. I don't know. I kind of feel this pull to go back, not like back, like, oh, I miss the good old days. I mean, I kind of do at times, but just to create something. And an easy way for me to create would be to create a video over on the Done Creative, or, create a live stream where I'm being able to do readings. And then I don't have to sit for the 2 to 3 hours after I film something to edit it all together. I can just pop it out fresh out of the oven, live stream. And those pick a cards would, of course, be like timeless unless they were like, oh, August 2024 pick a card, September 2024 pick a card, or whatever. Those may not be as timeless, though. I always say if your energy's there, somehow there's a message. So, I've even gone back to like June of like 2019's pick a card just to see, like in June I went there. I'm like, oh, I just want to see what this said. And it was so on point with what I was going through and had going on. Not like I was going through anything, but just like that busy transition of life. I was like, yes, this tracks. All right, you guys. Well, it sounds fun. Yay, I'm glad you like that. Most likely it's going to be, I'm going to guess probably toward the mid to end of September, just so I can kind of ease myself in. I think we start school August 28th here for my kids, or the 29th. So we're going to ease kind of back into writing, which is going to definitely be the priority over any Done Creative stuff. And my only other real big work priority is you guys. So right here at this channel. So my biggest work priority is going to be my writing, because I definitely want to get back on track with that. It's time. I got to do it. So that's going to be that. So that's what I'm going to be doing, focusing most on. Before we go, hey, we still have 5 of you here. Let's pull a card advice for us, just in general, right now. Just what do we need to know today? What's going on? What do we need to know today before we close out? All right. We have Make it your mission to accept all parts of you, the good and what you perceive to be your imperfections. Don't look for any outside validation. It's already within you. Once you realize your true beauty and potential, you will never doubt yourself again. I don't know about all that last sentence because I doubt myself all the time. It's like my bad habit, my dirty trick that I do to myself in my head. Like, doubt myself all the time. But oh, we can actually see the level up sign better during the day time hours than the evening hours. So that's good to know. But yes, if you want to screenshot this little idea here for yourself, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I am going to go and think about my lunch. Not have lunch yet, but think about what I'm going to be having for that lunch. It better be good. Full of, oh gosh, I already forgot the name of it. Phytonutrients? No. Gosh, polyphenols. That's in your like green leafy vegetables. I'm getting full of polyphenols, some good fermented foods with the, what do you call it? Drawing blanks. Sauerkraut. I'm still trying to do a little bit of that a day, just a little bit. Sometimes just a little bit more than the day before, just to get me going on that. And some good fats. Looking for some good fats and some protein. So that's my big focus right now. So I gotta go figure out what all, and I've almost been having like a charcuterie board type dinner of, you know, a little bit of protein here, some green leafy stuff here, some sauerkraut here, a kombucha over here. And that stuff has gone up in price since I used to buy it back in the day because I hadn't bought it for years. We used to make our own for years, and that's why I didn't buy it. And we bought enough basically to get our kombucha system running that we could reuse those GTE brand bottles because those were kind of our bottle of choice because you could actually clean them really well with a bottle brush and everything. But oh my gosh, they're like almost $4 or over $4 for certain kinds of kombucha now. And I think back then they were like two something, like probably no more than like $2.50 a bottle. So it's almost like doubled in price. Not quite double, but like almost. So yes, getting back into making our own kombucha, hopefully in September, I think is when we're going to start. So I'm looking forward to that. Lots of good gut bacteria for your good gut bacteria. for them to eat in the kombucha. All right. Well, I'm going to go, you guys. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live on Wednesday next week at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. I will see you there, hopefully, for a free one-card pull to start. All right, you guys. Oh, Amber, Kashfi won the drawing. I don't know if you saw it. Her timestamp is 5252. Or add up 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. 77. Yeah, she won. So timestamp, you can go look at the timestamp. It's 5252. When I post this, you can just scrub right to 5252 and find her reading. Oh, you're out shopping. Yeah, you can check it out later. I can timestamp it when I'm done. But I'm going to end the stream now. Just wanted to let you know since you were here. But yes, bye. Have a really good one. All right, you guys, much love, and I will see you next time. Oh, 77 showing up. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, you can't make that stuff up, but there it is. All right, much love, you guys. Peace out, and I will see you next time. Bye. Not quite. Got to push end again. It's end stream, and then they give you the option, like, do you want to end? Not yet, or end. Well, I want to end it, so. All right, we're ending it. Bye.